Hi everybody! Thanks so much for clicking on this video. I'm so excited to move with you all. Today's video is a 20-minute full body workout that incorporates light weights and options for everybody. Equipment needed are your mat and a pair of 1 to 3 pound light weights, in addition to possibly a pillow or some extra cushioning because we'll be on our knees for one of our series. So whenever you're ready, let's come to your mat and we'll get started. Let's start by moving our spine in all directions. So when you're ready, we have our feet in parallel position, arms down beside your hips. We take an inhale through the nose, sending the arms above our head. And as we exhale, we reach down towards our toes and fold over, shaking our head yes and no, releasing any tension in our head, neck, and shoulders. Trying to keep the legs as straight as you can. And then when you're ready, we'll roll back up, meeting with our arms above our head. Nice. Let's take our thoracic extension or the back bend. So when you're ready, we'll reach your arms behind you, sending the head a tiny bit backwards as the chin starts to lift, opening our chest, our heart, our ribs up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, we'll dive back down, reaching down towards our toes once more. Let's grab hold of our elbows. We'll rock our body side to side. Nice. When you're ready, we'll roll back up, meeting with our arms above our head, but this time we clasp our fingers together. Let's take our side bend. When you're ready, we reach the right ear down towards the ground, feeling a nice stretch in the side of the body, feeling our neck, the muscles surrounding our ribs. Nice. When you're ready, we come up through the center, taking an inhale, and we exhale, go to the other side. Nice, let's come up through center. And this time we open our arms out to the sides of the room like we're the letter T. And we separate your feet a little bit wider outside of the hips. Good, from here we rotate your upper body towards the left and we reach down, sending the opposite fingers towards the opposite toes. Again, trying to keep your legs as straight as you can, head is nice and heavy. And then we'll come up through center, taking a big inhale. And as we exhale, we rotate towards the other side, reaching down towards the floor. Head is heavy, legs are straight. Nice, and then when you're ready, we'll reach down through center and slowly roll all the way back up. Nice. All right, let's locate our weights. Mine are 3 pounds, but if yours are a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit heavier, fantastic, but I'm choosing 3 pounds. Let's face the front end of our mat. We'll start with the right foot in front, and the left foot is behind just a little bit so that the heel is slightly lifted back. There's space between the legs, and the arms are down beside your hips. Nice. When you're ready, we'll start to bend both of our legs in a lunge, and we bend both of our arms, finding a hammer curl. And then slowly return. Nice. Inhale to lower, and exhale to lift. Beautiful. We've got 7 more, just like that. Finding a gentle lunge, starting to feel our tops of thighs warming up. Good. Inhale to lower and exhale to stand. Good. 3 more. Nice. Last 2. Good. The next time that we bend both of our legs and we bend both of our arms, let's pause there. Good. We start to shift forward so that the front leg is super bent and the back leg goes along. We'll extend our arms back beside our hips with the palms facing backwards. And then we slowly return, finding bent legs in our lunge and our hammer curl. Exhale to reach. Nice, finding a small tricep extension. And then we slowly return. If we're interested in adding more, when we start to shift forward, lowering the chest, the back leg extends long and floats over the mat, finding an arabesque. And then we slowly return, taking an inhale. Exhale, shift forward, and inhale to return. Let's take 3 more. Good, 2 more. Nice. Let's shift and hold. Good. From here, your back leg could be floating or not, but we pulse our arms up and down an inch, finding a pulse in tricep press. Nice. We pulse. Pulse for 3. Good, 2. Last 1. And then we step our feet together. Nice. And let's start to prepare for the other side. So when you're ready, we step your left foot forward and we have the back leg long behind you so that the heel starts to lift. Nice. When you're ready, let's find your arms and legs bending in that lunge and hammer curl, and then slowly return. Nice. Inhale to bend. Exhale to stand. Nice. Let's take just a few more here. Good. Last 5. Beautiful. Feeling the front of our legs. Nice. Feeling the front of our arms, muscles surrounding the biceps. Good. Last 2. Beautiful. Let's bend our legs, bend our arms, and hold there. Nice. From here, we hinge forward, sending the chest down, and the back leg starts to go straight, straightening our arms beside our hips and the palms face back. And then we slowly return on your inhale. Exhale to reach, shifting forward. Inhale to return. Nice. Good. Let's take 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Good. And we'll start to find the back leg long. Hold there. And we pulse our arms up and down, finding small pulses in our tricep press. Tiny pulse. Pulse for 3. Nice. 2. Good. And then we step our feet together. All right. So from here, we're going to hold on to our weights. So let's come all the way down on our mat. Once you're there, we have our weight in our hands. And we'll step our feet in towards your seat and tail just a little bit more. We're getting into our bridge series. So when you're ready, we'll send the arms straight up above your shoulders and chest. Good. And we'll plant our feet nice and soft. Inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, we'll simply lift our hips up off of the mat. Inhale to slowly lower back down. And exhale, lift. Nice. Let's take 4 more just like that. Starting to warm our glutes, booty, and hips. Nice. Good. Let's take 2 more. Nice. The next time you lift your hips to the ceiling and the arms are straight up, let's pause there. So we bend our arms behind us and lower the hips halfway and then lift back up. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Good. Let's take just 4 more, just like that. Nice. 3. Good. 2. Beautiful. The next time we lift, let's hold and we pulse those hips up and down an inch. Nice. 3. Good. 2. We lift the hips all the way up and then we lower all the way back down. So from here, let's meet with just 1 weight in our right hand. Nice. We'll send that straight up to the ceiling or the sky, and we'll have the left hand down beside your hips. Good. From here, we lift our hips up to the ceiling, finding our bridge, and we send our left leg to tabletop. Nice. Tapping our toe down to the mat, we start to reach that right arm long behind us, and then we return back to center and breathe. Exhale, reach and tap. Inhale, return back to center. Nice. Let's take 3 more, feeling our booty and hips. Nice. 2 more. Good. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift and hold. And we pulse our hips up and down an inch for 3. Nice. 2. Good. We place that left foot down. We lower our hips, we lower the weight, and we rest. So when you're ready, we have your left hand holding on to the singular weight, and we send that arm straight up to the ceiling. Right hand stays down beside your hip. Inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, we press through the feet, lift the hips into our bridge and hold. And from there, we lift our right leg to table. Starting to send your right toes down to the mat, we send your left arm behind you, and then we bring everything back into center. Nice. Inhale to lower and reach. Exhale, return to center. Good. Let's take 3 more. Good. 2 more. Nice. Let's find the toe tapping to the mat. Arm is long back. We find your center, hold, and we pulse our hips up and down an inch for 3. Nice. 2. Good, and then we slowly lower our hips all the way back down, lower that foot, and send the weight to the mat. Good job. Nice, let's take a little stretch. We'll toss the weights to the side for a moment and send your legs straight up to the ceiling. We want to grab behind your knees, your calf muscles, your ankles, whatever you're able to gently grasp. And while keeping your legs straight, you want to bring them in towards your chest, finding a nice little stretch. You're going to keep the legs as straight as you can. We can point and flex the toes, we can roll the ankles out, whatever feels good. And if your head lifts, that's also totally okay. Just stretching the backs of the legs. Nice! Let's have your head and spine relax down to the mat and the weight starting in one hand. We'll send your legs to tabletop position and we'll start with just a single leg stretch. When you're ready, inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, we lift our head, looking towards your belly, feeling the shoulder blades lifting off the mat. Abs are engaged, and we start to lengthen one leg nice and long, and we'll pass the weight from one hand under the tabletop leg to the other hand, and then we change our legs so that we have the other leg nice and long. Good, inhale, and we exhale, pass under, and change. Nice, inhale, and we exhale, pass under, and change. Beautiful. Inhale, opening the ribs. Exhale, close. If we're interested in even more of a challenge, we can take the double leg stretch, where both legs extend nice and long. We pass the weight under, and then we bring them back into table. Nice, good. Finding both legs nice and long, and then we find table, pass under. Nice. Beautiful. Let's take 4. Good, 3. Nice, 2, and we find center and rest. Beautiful. So when you're ready, we still have one weight, but both of our hands will be grasping onto it in a goblet hold, holding onto the ends. We'll have your arms and legs come up towards the ceiling. Nice. When you're ready, we take an inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, we lift our head, feeling the shoulder blades lift away from the mat. Hold here. Sending the right leg down towards the mat, just halfway. Good. From here, we twist into the right side. Take an inhale, and as we exhale, everything changes. Lowering the opposite leg and switching our upper body. Inhale through the nose, tapping the weight to the side, and exhale, change to the other side. Nice, good. Switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Let's take 4. Nice, 3. Good, 2. Beautiful. We twist to the right side of the body and hold there. Small little pulses of the chest, up and down an inch, up and down an inch. Good, 3. Nice, 2. Beautiful. We lift. We change to the other side, changing our legs and focus. And we pulse our chest up and down an inch, up and down for 3. Nice, 2. Good. We come through tabletop legs, and then we lower our head, neck, shoulders. Beautiful. Nice. Let's have you place your weight down. We'll send the bottoms of your feet together to touch in a butterfly stretch. And just allow gravity to open your hips and the knees fall to the sides. Nice. Keeping your right knee open, we'll just start to find a twist, stacking the left knee on top and rotating to look the other direction. Good, keeping the knees glued together. We change them and they both fall to the left, and our focus goes away from the legs. Nice, one last hug of the knees into our chest. And then when you're ready, we'll rock and roll all the way up to seated to find our next position, which will be kneeling. We'll start to walk our knees backwards just a little bit so that they are directly beneath our hips, and the toes are either relaxed or curled under, whatever you feel is best. So, when you're ready, let's start with just a low row. Inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, we bend the arm, pulling it in beside your ribs, and then we extend, finding a long arm. Exhale to pull. Inhale, the arm goes long. Nice. So we want to find a very, very flat back to protect our lower back. So make sure your abs are still engaged and the ribs are closed together. Nice. Let's take 3 more. Nice. 2 more. Beautiful. The next time the arm is long down onto the mat, pause. And let's start to add in the opposite leg. So inhale through the nose. As we exhale, we pull the right arm in and add our bird dog. The left leg goes long to the end of the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, we lower, finding the mat. Good. Inhale, exhale to pull and lengthen. Beautiful. Starting to feel our abs engaging some more, squeezing our glutes. Good. Exhale to pull. Inhale to lengthen. Nice. Let's take 3 more. Nice. 2 more. Good. The next time that we pull the arm in, hold. Nice. You can have the leg long behind us if you'd like to, but if not, you can always place it back down. From here, we extend the arm long behind you towards your booty, hips, and the back of the mat, and then we bend it back in. Nice. Exhale, it goes long. Inhale, bringing it back in. Nice. Let's take 3 before our last little bit. Nice. 2. Good. The arm is long. Let's hold that. Beautiful. We rotate it up towards the ceiling, and then we rotate it back down and beside your hip. Good. Rotate it up towards the ceiling, and then back down besides the hip. Good. 3. Nice. 2. Good. We rotate it up towards the ceiling. Small pulses of the arm up and down. For 3. Nice. Woo. 2. And then we lower. Beautiful. Nice job. Sweet. Of course, we have to do all of that on the other side. So this is the last bit before we start to stretch, I promise. When you're ready, let's have the weight in our left hand. Hands are beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. And we'll start by pulling that left arm into the ribs and then slowly place it back down. Exhale to pull, inhale to lengthen. Nice. Let's go for 3 more. And then we'll start to add in our legs. Nice. Good. The next time the arm is long to the mat, let's pause. Good. Taking an inhale, we exhale. Pull that arm in beside the ribs, and the opposite leg, the right leg, extends long behind you. Good. Inhale to lower, and exhale to lift. Nice. Good. We want to try and find a mini hold to the top, making sure our ribs are close together, abs are engaged. Nice flat back. Good. Then next time that we have our arm bent, let's pause there. We can have the leg lifted or you can have it lowered. So we extend it long behind you and then we bring it back in. Nice, extending it long behind and then bring it back in. Nice, 3 more before our last little burner. And then we'll stretch, I promise. Good. The next time that the arm is long behind you, hold. Nice, we rotate it so that the palm is up towards the ceiling, and then we rotate it back towards the hip. Good, rotating it up, and then rotating it back. Nice. Let's take 3 more. Nice, 2 more. Good, the palm is lifted, hold. Small pulses of the arm up and down. For 3. Good, 2. Beautiful, and then everything comes back down to the mat and we rest. Beautiful. Nice, let's toss our weights to the side so that we can start to stretch. When you're ready, we have both of our legs out to the sides of the mat. Beautiful, really opening our hips. From here, let's send your right arm up and over into the opposite leg, really stretching out our hips. Nice. When you're ready, we'll come on up and we'll cross your right foot over and we'll send the opposite arm over the bent leg for a twist. Nice. We'll probably get a little back crack out of it. That's totally fine. And then when you're ready, we have 2 legs long to the mat. Finding our hips down, we send the left arm up and over into the opposite leg, finding a stretch. And then we come up through center. We take the left foot and step it across. And we take the opposite arm over the bent leg and find a nice little twist. Beautiful. We'll stack our legs together, one on top of the other. We'll send the arms up above the head, and we reach forward, trying to get your nose as close as you can towards your legs. Arms long in front of you. then when you're ready, we'll change our legs around. And we'll do the same thing. Arms up and reach forward. Nice. When you're ready, we'll find your feet together in a butterfly position. We'll have your arms long where the wrists rest on top of your knees. We'll take an inhale, sending the arms above our head, palms touching each other. And as we exhale, we pull our hands towards our heart. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!